Do you want a more immersive experience? Thrustmaster T150 force feedback racing wheel. Official PS3 and PS4 licenses, and also PC compatible. Rubber coated wheel grips. 1080 degrees of rotation. Adjustable force feedback. Large metal sequential pad. Optimized ergonomic design. Mixed belt, pulley, and gears system. Thrustmaster. Enter into the real driving world.
Side will not run, keep it up.
Whoa, great!
Oh no, big mistake! I had to go back to us and down to 99 every corner.
It has been an absolutely astonishing season.
A good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 8th round of the Formula SimRacing Pro Championship. My name is Felix van Delft. I'm joined in the commentary box once again by Peter Schulze. Welcome, Peter.
Welcome, Felix. How are you?
I'm doing great. Hopefully, you are doing great too, and of course, hopefully, all the viewers at home as well, with the beautiful weather that we have here lately. In the countries that lay around Europe, it's beautiful to be racing here. Monza, of course, is a beautiful track, one of the oldest tracks used in Formula 1 still, and we will use it too here today. We will be driving for 40 laps, at least the pro drivers will be driving for 40 laps, and so will the ace drivers. Qualifying has started roughly 5 minutes ago. And at the moment we have Ivan Leonov in provisional pole position.
Yeah, we have. You've seen from Ivan in the last 3 races. He's always someone who could get the pole position, who could fight for the race win. Yeah, so he's someone to look out for. Also, we have a lot of strong drivers getting back of grid penalties for quali cuts in Spa. So there's a good chance we might see a surprise on pole today.
Yeah, that's indeed a good surprise. See if I can pull up just quickly how many penalties we have today. It's quite interesting. Obviously, those kind of things happen. Penalties will happen, but after Spa, it's a bit more than usual than that we see here in the Pro Division. So, penalties for this race. Arek Kulak, 10 place grid drop. Cameron Roger, back of the grid. Casper Belt, 5 place grid drop. Luca D'Amelio, championship leader, back of the grid. Eduard Batala, 20 place grid drop. Eugene Van Logrenberg, back of the grid. Lawrence Doherty, 15 place drop. Matt Tucson, starting from pits. Michael Wilson, 15 place drop. Kentovic, 15 place. Roemer Tissing, back of the grid. Todor Pangev, back of the grid. Tom Lamberts, back of the grid. And Tom Oldermenger, 5 place grid top. So, like you said, wouldn't be surprised if we see a surprising pole position man here. But of course, there's still roughly 15 minutes remaining in this session. Anything can still happen. Let's see what does happen.
Yeah, and an important thing is we have currently 3 championship leaders, all tied on points. That is Luca D'Amelio, Tom Oldermenger, and Cameron Roger. And 2 of these 3 have backup crits, so it's a good opportunity for Tom Oldermenger to get into the lead of the championship.
Yeah, it definitely is. I'm just going on board with Totsux, currently in provisional 3rd place. Just finished his first sector. Of course, Monza is again a track where low downforce is a thing. We will see a lot of cars with very low downforce. Obviously, you have those massively long straights here, with a couple of corners in between them. The Lesmo corners, and of course this Ascari corner, where he goes through very, very quickly. His first sector wasn't too great. Second sector, not too great, but should be enough for an improvement. Let's see. Last sector is going to be important for him though. He manages to improve his time. Purple last sector actually, but only P4 for him at the moment. Maybe I say only, but I'm sure he will want to improve more. Ivan Leonov at the moment just came out of Ascari. He will be looking to improve his lap time.
Also further back, just coming into Ascari, Jordi Swears going purple in Sector 1. His Sector 2 actually wasn't that good, so probably will only finish like 8th or 7th, I think.
Perhaps he's running a bit of a lower downforce.
Yeah, that's a possibility, yeah. To be fast in Sector 1 and Sector 3, and slower in Sector 2.
Yep, exactly. So, 12 for him at the moment. Tiziano Brioni just finished his first sector. Coming into the Lesmo corners now. Opening the DRS. To go underneath the old track. And into Ascari they go. Throws it in nicely. Keeps it on the power. A bit of oversteer there and the exit, and cuts the exit of the corner there. So has to abandon his lap and does so as well. Shame for him, because it would have been a good lap, perhaps even good enough for top 5. But at the moment we see Lawrence Doherty at the top of the timing sheets. The ACR driver hasn't had the best season. Had a lot of unfortunate moments. Some may be caused by himself. Some may be caused by factors he couldn't control. Let's see if he can get back in shape here at the Monza Grand Prix. He's at the moment in his out lap. Tom Oldermenger is in a hot lap, so let's quickly switch to him. We'll be going through Parabolica. A beautiful corner, of course. Long right-hander will be difficult for the tires in the race, especially that front left tire will wear quite quickly if you push too much through that corner. Tom Oldermenger puts himself on provisional pole position, by the way. 1 minute 18.324. Only 25 thousandths quicker than Lawrence Doherty, who in turn is also only 33 thousandths quicker than Ivan Leonov, who in turn is only 60 thousandths quicker than Kostas Kalanomatis. So it's really close here in qualifying so far, and that's great to see.
Yeah, and Oldenmenger did a purple lap there without a single purple sector.
Wow.
That's quite interesting.
Yeah.
Also looking at Doherty now, he missed the apex of turn 1 a little bit. Had like not the best first chicane. Turn 3, turn 4 looking better. Coming into the Lesmos, it's really important here, especially to get the Lesmo 2 right, to get a good exit onto the straight to Ascari. Let's see, he's not improving in Sector 1, and yeah, there you can see he has a bad Lesmo 2. He tried to get good exit speed, but overdid it.
Yeah, unfortunate for him. Oh, And as I just switched to jumpy tires, he also crashed into the wall somewhere. And Tiziano Brioni is on a outlap, I believe. Is he? No. I think he is on an outlap. Just going a bit quicker in an outlap than I would have expected. I guess he's in a bit of a hurry. There's still 7 minutes remaining in the session. He has got 2 tries left, so I guess he just wants to get it done with. Head of the Vries at the moment in P5. Doing a great job there. Now Tiziano braking hard for turn 1. Hitting the apexes nicely, hard on the power, trying to minimize wheel spin of course, but still get the best exit as possible. Now braking hard. First sector for Tiziano was a 26.5. That is not too bad at all. Quicker than Lawrence Doherty's best first sector. Now hard on the power out of the Lesmos. DRS open, coming to the turning point of Ascari. Make sure you get good on the brakes, turn in nicely, don't hit the curbs too hard, can unsettle the car a bit too much. Now on the exit, cuts the corner again. It's the 3rd time I think he's done that. And now he also...
Oh, this is not good.
That's really stupid from Tiziano Brioni there. Let's see if I can get a replay. But that's just... yeah, well... really stupid. Here coming out of the exit of Ascari, you can see him cut. Of course he will abandon his lap, but then he just goes onto the grass, spins onto the track again. And totally ruins, I think it's Ballas Galliard or Miles Wiebe, one of the two, that just got caught up in that. Nothing they could have done at all. And the blame totally lies there on Tiziano Brioni. Alright, so the top 6 all out on track, looking to do their 3rd attempt. And Zot Soeks is the first one to actually finish a lap. He's at the moment on the back straight, abandoning his lap, so he won't be finishing that lap. Then Tom Ondermenger will be the next one. Now coming to the line. First couple of sectors weren't too great, but he does manage to get a small improvement in there. 14 thousandths of a second of an improvement. Perhaps that is the small gap that he needs to Lawrence Doherty. We will have to see how that turns out. Lawrence is on his outlap still. Ivan Leonov though is on a hot lap. Will be coming through Parabolica right now. Winning it in nicely. On the power, on the limit, you can see it there. The exit of Parabolica, there's gravel. If you make the mistake, you end up either in the gravel or in the wall. And
impressive time by Ivan Leonov.
Yeah, definitely an impressive time. Provisional pole position, 1 minute 18.112. With an amazing first sector compared to Tom Ondermenger, especially. Now, will anybody be able to answer to that? Kostas Kolonematis is coming to the line. No. Although it's a purple last sector for him. Not able to improve his position. Now, Lawrence Doherty, all the pressure is on him. At least for this lap. Coming through the Lesmos. First sector was okay. Almost as quick as Tom Ondermenger's. Just a bit slow though. Exit of Lesmo 2. Touches the grass a little bit, won't be helping his lap time for sure. steaming to Ascari, going in as quickly as possible. Bit of understeer, and doesn't have as much exit speed out of Ascari as he would have liked. Now coming up to Parabolica, braking hard, like we saw with Leonov. On the limit, on the left, you can't make a single mistake and dip your wheel outside of the white lines, or you will end up in the gravel. Lawrence Doty manages to improve his time, but still not close enough to Ivan Leonov.
Most of the top 10 currently preparing their last hot lap, or are still in the pits and waiting for the best moment to get their last lap in.
Yep, Palat Gagliardi is on a lap. Just finished the first sector in the Lesmo corners now. His first sector wasn't too bad. Same thing comes for Mirko Lopini. He's actually on a relatively good lap. I think he should be able to get up to P5, top 5.
P6, yeah.
Yeah, Mirko Lopini P6. So, good lap for the ACR driver. He doesn't have a lap remaining, so that was his last lap. Now, Balazs Galliard, where will he qualify himself? P5. And he also doesn't have any laps remaining. So yes, hope not too many drivers still improve their lap times. Now Gerlof de Vries on a lap. Under the old track he goes. Then into Ascari. Ooh, runs a bit wide. That's the end of his lap. Perhaps got a bit distracted by the car on the inside there. But he got out of the way as much as he could possibly go. So, can't really blame him. Tom Oldermenger now. Good first sector for him. So that the first sector mainly is where these drivers lose to Ivan Leonov. Second sector is where they were a little bit more, faster. Now Tom has some traffic in front of him. Let's hope that doesn't bother him too much. Second sector for Tom is also really good. Perhaps he can grab a little bit of slipstream from the car in front. No, a bit too far back. Into Parabolica he goes. Into the power. As hard as he can possibly go. And then the shortest line to the start-finish line. Let's see what it's gonna be. Tom Oldermenger, provisional pole position. 1:17.982. Great lap time there by Tom Oldermenger. And showing that he is ready to fight for this championship.
And I think he got a decent slipstream there in the last sector because he went purple. Even faster than Ivan Leonov.
Yeah, it could definitely be. The car was, in front of him wasn't too far back. Now, Ivan Leonov, his first sector, was just a little bit quicker than Tom Oldermenger's last sector. Now, the second sector is where Ivan Leonov lost out last time. Let's see what it is for him this time. Roughly as quick as Tom Oldermenger. So this last sector is going to be important for him. He doesn't have a toe like Tom Oldermenger did. So let's see. This Parabolica is going to be extremely important for Ivan if he wants to get pole position. On the power he goes. Slight bit of correction. On the limit again there with the white line. Let's see what it's going to be for Ivan Leonov. It is not enough. It's not enough for him. Not an improvement. And at the same time, Kostas Kolanomatis also did not improve on his time, I believe. Only driver still left on track is nobody. So that is the end of the qualifying session. And we have Tom Oldermenger on pole position. He is co-championship leader, if we can say it like that. Sharing the championship lead currently with Cameron Roger and Luca D'Amelio. Luca D'Amelio, he had a penalty, if I recall correctly. So did Cameron. So they are starting right at the bottom of this field. And Tom Oldermenger, starting from pole position, is looking very, very strong here for the Italian Grand Prix. We will be taking a short 5-minute break. When we get back, the drivers will be getting ready to race for 40 laps here around the Monza, Autodromo Nazionale Monza. Get ready, because it's gonna get exciting. Grab a cup of coffee, and we will be right back.
inside, warm up round, keep it up.
Whoa, race!
Oh no, big mistake! Edwards got back one and down to 99 every corner.
It has been an absolutely astonishing season.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are getting ready for round 8 of this Formula SimRacing Pro Championship here at the Autodromo Nazionale Monza. Is a few minutes remaining in the warm-up session here, and currently leading the timesheets in the warm-up session is Ben Horrell, returning to FSR today. He has driven before in 2015 and 2016, I believe, here in the Pro Championship as well. Looking to make his return. Let's see how he does in the race. Let's talk a little bit about strategy. Obviously, the tires that we have got here are the Ultrasoft, the Supersoft, and the Soft tire. 3 different compounds the drivers can use. Obviously, the top 10 out of qualifying needs to use the Ultrasoft tire. So you won't see anything different there. But I will be expecting some drivers outside of the top 10 starting on either the Supersoft or the soft tire. Strategy, I think the most used strategy is gonna be either a 2-stop or a 1-stop. It really depends on how the specific driver or the specific car copes with the tires. If they are able to do a 1-stop, I think the 1-stop is perhaps the quicker strategy. Not sure about that. Perhaps the 2-stop is going to be the quicker strategy. We don't know until we see the finish of this race. 40 laps it's going to be. I'm sure these drivers will provide us with some great racing. Obviously, like we have said before, the two of the 3 championship leaders, they are all tied on points. Tom Ondermenger, Cameron Roger and Luca D'Amelio. Luca D'Amelio and Cameron Roger will be starting from the bottom of this grid. So they will be having to fight back to perhaps try and challenge Tom Ondermenger, who is going to be starting from pole position. So it's looking very shiny and bright here for Tom Ondermenger. At least for now. Anything can still happen in the race. Let's hope nothing too bad happens to anybody. But it's Monza. It's a tight track. Turn 1 is very, very tight. And I'm pretty sure the Pro Championship has a little bit of a reputation if it comes to lap 1, turn 1 incidents. So we will see what will happen. Warm-up is over, so we will be switching to the race session shortly. So, obviously, top speeds is important here at Monza. Just looking at the top speed charts here. Currently, Ben Horrell quickest on 360 kph. I'm pretty sure that's either with an open DRS or using the full power of the engine. He surely can't do that in the race. Then Jappy tires with 340, 4 kilometers an hour. Of course, can't really say much if that's with slipstream, with boost, with DRS. I'm gonna have to just wait and see in the race what will happen. But it seems that everybody is relatively quick on top speed. Nobody lower than 330 without any slipstream and DRS. So that's looking good for everybody. Let's see how that all turns out in the race. So Just waiting for the grid to be finalized. Obviously our race direction has quite a lot of penalties to apply, so perhaps it will take a little bit longer than it would be usual. But there we go. Race session has started and the drivers will be getting to the grid to start this race. Now, everybody seems to be lined up. Information that will be on their way in a few seconds. Ivan Leonov rolls off the grid. And everybody seems to be following him nicely. "30 drivers here in the Pro Championship. Full grid again, and there will be also a Grid 2 race. We won't be able to stream that. Also, that race won't be for full championship points. Mainly just for the drivers to have a bit of fun that didn't make it into the main session. Alright, so I'll take you just quickly through the top 10 here for the Pro Championship Italian race. Ivan Leonov will be starting from pole position. Then we have Zoltsuk from P2. Kostas Galanamatis from P3. Tiziano Brioni from P4. Tom Ondermenger with the 5th place drop in P5. And then Balazs Galliard in P6. Gerlof de Vries P7. Mirko Lopini in P8. And Japitaz in P9. And then rounding off the top 10 we have Indrek Vermeets. Then P11 Jordi Zwiers. P12 Gerard Batala. P13 Ben Horrell. P14 Rodriga Cascas. If I mispronounce any names, I am sorry. Please correct me if I'm doing anything wrong. Janice Wilborn from P15. Miles Wiebe from P16. Lawrence Dougherty from P17. David Santos from P18. Jordi Salvado in P19. Tank Applegate will be starting from the pit lane. Adek Kulak will be starting from P21. Mikhailo Vicentovic P22. Michael Wilson and Edward Batala will be starting from the pit lane as well. Then Cameron Roger P25. Luca D'Amelio, also championship leader, P26 right behind Cameron. Then Rumer Tissing in P27. Eugene Vollenberg P28 will be starting from the pit lane. And Tom Lomberts P29. And P30 will be Matthew Hewson from the pit lane as well. So that is our grid for today. Drivers now lining up on their grid slots, ready to get this race going. Now we will be waiting for the lights to come on for this race to start. As we see the lights coming on, we have 5 lights. And we are racing here for round 8 of the Pro Championship. Somebody did move out of his grid slot. I think it's Tiziano Brioni. However, the rest of the grid seems out of their grid slots relatively cleanly. In the back, we have a little bit of carnage. Into turn 1 they go now. Let's hope everything goes relatively cleanly here. Seems like it. No major incidents. And everybody out of turn 1 relatively safely on the straight. Could see something happening there. I think it was Tiziano Brioni or another Muster driver not getting out of his grid slot at the start. And that caused a little bit of mayhem down the main straight. Now Ivan Leonov leading this race into the first lap. DRS won't be available until lap 3. So for now the drivers behind him have to rely just on the slipstream from the car in front of them. Ooh, as we see an incident here with an ACR Academy driver. I think that is Yanis Woborn and Ballas Galliard had a little bit of an incident coming into Ascari there. Now down the main straight, a couple of drivers without front wings. A driver in the wall there again. Ballas Galliard, no front wing. ACR driver, no front wing. So there has definitely been some sort of incident. Matthew Tucson now trying to find his way through here. Ooh, as there's more carnage with an ACR car and a Netred car trying to get into the pit lane. But forgetting to brake or something in that region. Now Tom Oldermenger is starting his way through the field. Just got past Doltsux for P3 in this race. We'll be looking to gain even more positions. Gerrit de Vries right behind him as well.
I've just looked at the start incident and there was a lot of lag involved.
Alright.
So it looked like Zizioni didn't move out of this box, but then he just like lagged out of the track, disappeared and reappeared in the middle of the pack. So it might be another game issue. We had some of them the last few races against with the starts.
Yeah. Really unfortunate, of course, for everybody that's involved. Ben Horrell making his way up, started from P13 on the grid, now already up to P8. Having to defend now from Gerard Batala. But manages to almost get past him. Oh, sorry, he was not defending, he was attacking Mirko Lupini. Now on the back of the ACR car there, trying to go around the outside into the second chicane of this track. Putting full pressure on Mirko Lupini. Not giving him any space to breathe. DRS wide open now. And get a good exit out of this corner. Perhaps creeping a bit closer to the back of the ACR car. And maybe able to do a move down the main straight here. Gets a good exit out of Parabolica. On the power he goes. Seems that it's relatively good if he can tuck into the slipstream. Open the DRS, perhaps use a bit of the engine. Here we go. Mirko Lupini is not making it easy on him. Using his engine boost to try and increase the gap. Yeah, Ben Horrell a bit too far back to make that move instantly. However, Mirko Lupini goes a bit wide. That allows Ben Horrell to close up at the exit of the first corner. Now, surely he's going to be able to make a move here into the second chicane. Variante della Roggia. He wasn't able to make the move stick. Had a little look there. Mirko Lupini defensively on point here. Now Ben Horrell trying to find that gap. Trying to find a spot to put his car next to the car of Mirko Lupini. Closing in with the DRS. Is he going to do it up the inside of Ascari? Surely not. 4 laps into this race, Ivan Leonov already leading by 1.7 seconds. To Kostas Galanamatis. Tom Oldermenger starting to close in, but pace of Ivan Leonov currently really on point. And almost a second quicker than Tom Oldermenger last lap. Now Ben Horrell will be trying once again. DRS wide open. Going into turn 1. Also the Netrex driver, Indrek Remates trying to make a move on Gerard Batala right behind him. Ben Horrell didn't have the best of exits. Now he has to watch out for Gerard Battala right behind him as well. Battala on the super soft tire will be looking to make the move here. Let's see. Alongside, a little bit of contact made there with Ben Horrell. Ben Horrell decides to take a little bit of a shortcut. Not sure if it's entirely legal, but isn't too bad either. But he is struggling right now with the pressure from behind.
And I think Ben is not as confident on the brakes as Mirko. Because looking at the top speed with the DRS, he has about 15 kph more top speed, but doesn't even get alongside on the braking.
No.
And I think Gallop de Vries just made a move for P5.
Alright. Will be indeed. Schulze dropping back relatively quickly. Started from P3, already in P6 after 5 laps. Now let's keep a lookout on Gerard Battala. He will be looking to make his move onto Ben Horrell down the inside. Already passed before the braking zone. Nothing Ben Horrell really could have done. Perhaps here out of turn 1 into the Variante della Roggia. If he gets a good toe out of the back of Gerard Battala's car. I think he's just a bit too far back. Yes, he is. Late on the brakes. Closing that gap. Of course, Ben Horrell has the quicker tire. He's the better tire compared to Gerard Battala. Currently not able to make full use of the pace that that tire has, and Battala doing a great job here by getting through the field so quickly on the harder tire even. No, not the best Variante Ascari for him. Bit of oversteer on the exit and now losing a position as well to Lawrence Doherty. And probably Jordi Zwiers as well down the main straight. There you go, you can see Jordi closing in. Hunting down his prey. Also on the super soft tire, down the inside he goes. Late on the brakes. Ben Horrell trying to stay in there, but nothing he can really do. Again, perhaps if he can get a bit of a toe, he can do something into Variante della Roggia, but he's too far back again. So Ben Horrell struggling here. Ooh, who was that? It's Gerard Battala. Spun around in the Variante della Roggia. Let's see if I can find what happened there with Gerard Battala as he spun around. Okay, it won't be working unfortunately. Replays seem to be a bit bugged at the moment, so I'm gonna have to do without them for now. Let's see though. Down to P12. Really didn't help him that spin. Now at the front of the field, still Ivan Leonov leading with almost 3 seconds of a lead. Now Tom Oldermenger starting to close in that gap, but not really able to get really close to the guys in front. It's looking very strong for Ivan Leonov so far. Zot Soeks, Gerard de Vries still battling. Now, further down the field, we can see that we have already got a few DNFs. Already got 8 DNFs actually. And that is including championship leader Luca D'Amelio. So he will be disappointed with this race, especially if Tom Oldenberg gets some good points. Will be getting a good lead in the championship standings over him. Cameron Rogers still in the points currently. Points go down to P15. Cameron Rogers is driving in P13. So, of course, this is a damage limitation race for Cameron. As we see Gerard Battala going into the pit lane for his first stop. Now Ben Horrell is getting attacked by Hendrik Remates. Hendrik on the soft tire. Probably Ben Horrell's super or ultra soft tire is starting to wear out here 9 laps into this race already. As we see Lawrence Doherty and Jordi Swiers battling right in front of that as well. Battles all over the track. If we miss anything, we apologize. We don't have 5 eyes or 5 sets of eyes looking everywhere on the track at the same time. Sometimes you miss some things.
Which replay you said wasn't working?
Mine.
Like Forge Incident. Yeah, no, sorry,
That's the
Forge
Battala
Incident. Okay, let's see if I can find something.
Ooh, Cameron Rogers had a off.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, Gerard was battling with Lawrence Doherty into turn 3, turn 4. And there was a bit of contact on the entry and Gerard got spun.
Alright.
Also, I don't know, have you mentioned that Luca is out of the race already?
Yep. I've mentioned that just a minute ago. Cameron Rogers signed Edward Battala. I'm not sure if he made a mistake or had an incident. Because he was in P13 before. He's in P14 now. I'm not sure what happened. Anyway, Lawrence Doherty is starting to put pressure on Jordi Swiers. And as I say that, he spins out of... Ooh, he spins out of Velesmo 2 in the middle of the track. Gets collected by Ben Horrell, who loses his front wing. Nothing Ben really could have done there. Let's see if I can get a replay working here.
I've looked at the replay for Cameron. He spun out of his car. He just kept it out of the wall and lost a few positions. And we have the first one pitting. Costa Galanomatis from P3, I think, into the pit lane. In lap 9 already. Lap 10 actually.
Yeah, not much Ben could have really done there. Alright, Rodrigo Cascais is also close to the back of Michael Wilson. Trying to apply some pressure a bit further down the field. We saw Ben Horrell in the pit lane just before. Ivan Leonov still having a great pace. Leading the pack by almost 7 seconds now, Tom Ondermenger in P2. And everyone that has pitted already has Ben Horrell DNFs his car. Probably too much damage from that incident. Really unfortunate for him. Everybody that has stopped already, of course, on the 2-stop strategy at least. Perhaps on the 3-stop strategy. I wouldn't be expecting that. But who knows? Maybe somebody figured out that it's the best strategy. And we'll do it for the rest of the, for this race. We will have to see. Jordi Swiers behind Mirko Lupini now. Hoping to apply some pressure.
Schulze just coming out of the pits on fresh super softs, driving into P40 now.
Yep.
And I think Tom Lambert's in P9 is first of all these back of grid guys, already up in P9.
He's doing a great job. Jordi Zwiers going for the move in Ascari. Up the inside he goes. Mirko Lupini wasn't expecting it there. Now Jordi has to watch out that Mirko doesn't get too close down the straight, because he will have slipstream obviously, and he will the DRS as well down the main straight. Now you can see that the super soft tires at this stage of the race, this stage of the stint, are getting a bit quicker compared to the ultra softs. Now Mirko Lupini, can he do something? He's already too far back to make a move on Jordi Zwiers here. So great job there by Jordi Zwiers, doing it on a place where where the driver in front didn't expect it, and great job by him. Now Cameron Roger down in P13, just got overtaken, I believe, by the driver in front of him, Todd Soeks. Came out of the pit lane, of course. Cameron Roger is still on his 14 laps or 13 laps old super softs. Todd Soeks is just on a 1 lap old super soft.
Yeah, and I think looking at the lap times from Cameron after his spin out of Ascari, he might have damaged his tires a bit too much. His pace is dropping off by quite some margin right now, even though he's still on the super soft tires.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously a spin doesn't help your tire work. Wouldn't be surprised if he will be pitting a bit earlier compared to the other super soft runners. Ooh, Cameron had a bit of oversteer through Parabolica there, so his tires definitely starting to go down a cliff, and the driver behind him, Rodrigo Cascas, on soft tires, starting to close in on him.
Further at the back, we have Tucson up the rear wing of David Santos down into turn 1, side by side on the braking. David a little bit overcautious there, I would say. He still had the position, but nearly came to a standstill right before the apex.
You can see David has a bit of suspension damage. Of course, these two drivers have a little bit of history. Had some battles before in Canada, in Hockenheim as well. They can't stop finding each other on track here. And for now, it's Matthew Tucson on top. You can see that David Santos has some suspension damage. Car almost wiggling about on the main straight, or on the straight. Difficult to be pointed in the right direction for David.
Yeah. Probably caused by the start incidents as well, and Mirko Lupini into the pits.
Michael Wilson and Todd Soeks are battling hard. Todd obviously on the fresh tires, so wouldn't be expecting Michael to do much here with DRS, but nothing he really does. Now Mirko Lupini goes onto the soft tires, rejoins right in front of Cameron Roger. Nice place to be, a bit of a gap in front of him, so he can try to make use of this undercut compared to the drivers that were in front of him. David Santos got overtaken there by Gareth Battala as well. Did he make a mistake, or did Battala just rejoin in front of him out of the pit lane?
Pit lane.
Right.
He pitted.
The Monomenger getting close to Jaap Thijs.
pitting actually,
Oh,
Tom Holland.
yep.
Yeah, right.
My bad. Tom Ollemenger into the pit lane. Lap 14, sorry, 16 of this race. Oh, as he bucks down a bit, trying to get out of his pit box. Won't be helping him. See where he rejoins. Will be right in front of... No, not right in front, right behind Tom Lamberts. That won't be helping him. Tom Lamberts on a little bit older set of soft tires. And Mollinger won't want this dirty air from the car in front of him. And Kostas Galamat is closing into Indrek Mates. What I was about to say. Kostas has already pitted, so he's on fresh ultra soft tires. And Indrek is on older soft tires. So surely Kostas is gonna be able to make a move relatively quickly here on the Netrex driver.
And meanwhile, Tom Ollemenger still behind Tom Lamberts. He needs to make sure to overtake Tom as soon as possible to make use of the new tires. In the meantime, also Joao Pitar is into the pit lane.
Yeah, Kostas Galamatis is gonna make the move here. DRS wide open down the main straight. Indrek remains not really defending this position, although he's braking late. Kostas side by side into turn 1 almost. Kostas now on the left side through Curva Grande. It's tight, but it's possible. Side by side still. Indrek Mates has a bit more top speed than Gerard Batala. Kostas Galamatis. Kostas braking late. Ooh, watch out for your front wing there. So that was really close, but it all went well. Now into Lesmo 1 and Lesmo 2. Tough battle here, and Indrek Mates not giving up as easy as I would have thought. He's on a totally different strategy, but Kostas having a bit of trouble getting by him.
And the problem here is I saw in qualifying that Kostas had one of the lowest top speed in quali, so that's his main problem right now, getting past Indrek. And even Leonov is pitting from the lead.
Alright.
Also behind them, Tom Ollemenger managed to overtake Tom Lamberts into turn 1.
Okay.
So he's hunting down Kostas and Indrek now.
Yep. Now you can see top speed of Kostas Galamatis with DRS is 338 kilometers an hour. Indrek Mates has about 336, I believe, without any DRS. So that's hurting Kostas Galamatis quite a lot here. So, a couple of people that hasn't stopped yet. Indrek Mates, Roddy Zweers and Gerlof de Vries on the soft tire. Actually, Roddy Zweers on the super soft tire.
And Gerlof is running the ultra softs.
Is he running the ultra
still
soft? Oh,
yeah, he is.
okay. That's interesting.
This will be definitely one stop then.
Yeah, for sure. Gerlof going for a one stop for sure, and Kostas Galamatis still not able to get past the car in front of him. He's getting closer this time. He can get a good run out of Parabolica. If he can get close enough to Invergrammates, he should be able to make the move stick. Really close now. Slipstream will be helping him. DRS will open a bit further down the straight. He's closing in already. DRS opens for him. Will be using all of his engine, obviously, to try and get past Indrek. Side by side now. Late braking for both of them. This is it then. Kostas Kalinamatis gets past Invergrammates finally for P3 in this race. As we almost cross the halfway mark of this race.
And Gerloff just pitted, came out side by side with Salt Zux, but couldn't manage to stay in front of Salt. Now in P9, Gerloff de Vries.
Alright. Gerloff looking to make the overtake on Salt though. Salt is already quite long on this setup, super soft if I recall correctly. Yeah, 8 laps already. So Gerloff should be able to make a light work of this car in front of him. Obviously, Salt will be on the 2-stop strategy at least. And Gerloff is on the 1-stop strategy, so he shouldn't be able to, or he shouldn't worry too much about this guy in front of him. Now Jordi Swiers casually driving around still on his super soft tires. 21 laps now.
Yeah, and Jordi did the same thing at the last race in Spa actually. He started outside of the top 10, I think, put on the harder tire, went super long with the first stint, and then came out in 3rd or 2nd after his pit stop and finished 2nd.
Yeah. It's looking good for him so far. The pit window is a bit longer here, so I think if he stops now, he will be coming out right behind Gerloff de Vries. But obviously on the different strategy, perhaps able to get up to the P5, and maybe even a podium if he does well in the second stint of his race. You can see he is struggling a little bit into Ascari, into the faster corners where you need the tires.
Yeah, I think if he does 2 or 3 more laps, he can do a comfortable ultra soft stint to the end.
Yep.
I think he's already pitting this lap actually.
Yeah, seems like it. Yes, he is.
Interesting.
Well, 19 laps.
If he's brave enough, he could do.
Yeah. Obviously, the fuel is a bit lighter. Ooh,
oh, he missed his pit box.
Yep. Not gonna help him. Bit longer pit stop. Gerloff did it in 23 seconds, the whole pit. And Jordi Swiers did it in 25, so lost 2 seconds there just in the pit lane. And will be rejoining right in front of Michael Wilson. Only just though. And behind Gerloff de Vries by roughly 7 seconds. Now the last guy that hasn't stopped yet is Invergrammates. He is still out on his soft tire.
I think Tom Lambert hasn't pit as well in P5. He's still on his softs from the beginning.
Oh yeah.
Getting under pressure from Joao Pitares right now.
Yeah, also Tom Oldenmeyer getting
Lambert.
past Invergrammates.
Well, not quite. Cut the chicane
Yeah.
a little bit.
I think he's letting Indrek pass there, knowing that he was a bit too eager into turn 1. Now, surely he will be trying again in the next few corners. Jalpita is indeed also putting the pressure on Tom Lamberts. Joao Shirley is on the 2-stop strategy. At least you would think so, unless he will be able to do 24 laps on this super soft tire. And Jordi Sviers wasn't able to do that, so I don't expect anyone else to be able to do that currently. As we see Tom Lamberts coming into the pit lane.
And Indrek Ramirez as well.
So Indrek going to the super soft and Tom Lamberts going to the ultra soft tire, and Michael Wilson also to the ultra soft tire, as Gerrit de Vries now is closing into Daltsuk. Now Gerlof will be close enough to make a move down the main straight if he gets a good run out of the Parabolica. DRS will open wide open here. Side by side. Now it needs to brake hard into turn 1. Daltsuk is not giving up that easy, still side by side. A little bit of wheel banging, but it seems Gerlof de Vries comes out in front. Nice move there by the Frisian driver.
I'm just looking back at the battle of... Oh, that's not good, Cameron. Looking back at the battle of Gerard Batala and Cameron Roger, and they had a bit of a scrap down the main straight. Let's see it from his onboard. Oh, and, Cameron tried to move to the inside, well, faked the inside, then moved to the outside, and Batala moved to the inside and then to the outside, so they made contact. Cameron went into the grass, and because he couldn't slow down, they made contact in the braking zone for turn 1 again. But yeah, Batala stayed in front of Cameron.
Yeah, unfortunately my replay still not working. Daltsuk comes into the pit lane for his second stop. First of the 2 stoppers making his second stop.
Costa's coming out of the pits right now as well. He's on another set of ultra soft, so he's doing a 3-stop.
No, he's on supers.
Is he?
For me, he's on supers.
Interesting. For me, he's still on ultras.
Yeah, that's interesting. But I'm pretty sure he's on supers. Raceview also says he's on supers, so that would make sense. 15 laps, to be able to do that.
Oh, and we have another DNF from Rodrigo Casquez. Let's see what happened there. Oh. He had a bit of a moment in Ascar where he went into the wall and lost his rear tire.
Ah,
Unfortunate for him.
Edward Batala closing into the back of Tsutsuk's car. Battle for P10. Batala is on the soft tire and Tsutsuk is on the super soft, fresh super soft. So obviously that won't be too difficult for Zoltz to run away from. Ivan Leonov still comfortably leading this race. 14 seconds ahead of Van Oldermenger now. Really, really dominant performance by Ivan Leonov here.
But I'm wondering if he maybe needs to do another pit stop. Then Jordi Suarez would be in the fight again for the win. As well as Galop de Vries.
I don't know. Ivan did 17 laps on his ultra softs first stint. So we need to do another 13 laps now. 23 total on the softs. I don't know. If he's able to do 17 on the ultras, he would say 23 is possible on softs. Not sure.
It should be actually.
Tom Oldermenger did 15 in the first stint. So I think it's more difficult for him, but strategy-wise, it wouldn't make any sense to make Tom pit now, I would say, unless you really can't make it to the end of the race on his current tires. But if he pits now, he will be rejoining in P7, I think.
We see Costas Galamatis closing in on Mirko Lopini with his fresh super softs. Actually, he's already really close right now. On the rearing of Mirko Lopini going into Parabolica. We'll have the DS on the main straight, so it should be an easy move for Costas on the fresh tires. But he's actually stopped gaining when he's going out of the slipstream.
The low front, or the high downforce, sorry, from Costas Galamatis, but he got past. Nice move there.
Oh, Edo Batala pitting again. On lap 29. Not much going on right now in the field. I think Indrek Remets is slowly closing down to Mukulapini, as well as I think actually P2, P3, P4 and P5, Tom Aldermengen,
Yeah.
Joao Pitaz, Gerlof de Vries and Jordi Swiers all coming closer together, so we might be in for a fight for P2 at the end here.
Yeah, exactly. 10 laps remaining in this race. And all the strategies starting to blend together. Here we go, Japitas. Oh, sorry, that's a back marker. 10 cap. Okay, got it out of the way nicely.
And now Indrek Remets is making a move onto Mukulapini. There's actually someone coming out of the pit lane, I think. A little bit of a scary moment for Indrek there, but he is going past Mirko in the braking zone of turn 1 and is up into P7.
Gerlof de Vries now closing into Japitas. Here's Gerlof on the pressure of the Supersoft. Only by 3 laps though. Wonder if Joao is still going to pit. 8 laps to go. He's gonna have to do 24 laps on the Supersofts if he wants to make it. Interesting. Maybe he will try to get that far. Won't be easy for sure. Coming under pressure now by Gerlof de Vries. Gerlof goes around the outside even before the beginning of Parabolica.
And Jordi in the DS winner of Joao now as well. Will be interesting to see if Jordi can go past Joao and both Gerlof and Jordi can catch up to Tom Aldermengen and P2.
Yeah, that would be really interesting if he's able to do that. First Japitas though.
Jordi really close right now. Parabolica goes a bit right though.
Yeah, there's a bit of understeer. Had to lift off the throttle a bit to not go wide into the gravel. Capita has had a bit of a oversteer moment as well. I think his rear tires are starting to struggle. Jordi easily gets past there. High top speed. Ooh, misses his braking point though. That allows Capita to perhaps fight back a little bit. I think he still has it. But a little bit of a exciting moment there for Jordi's viewers.
And we also have our 13th DNF, Jared Butler. We saw him parking on the pit lane exit. Why does Jordi pass Joao there? I will take a quick look if something happened to him. Oh, interesting. His engine blew on lap 34 down the main straight.
Oh, alright. That's nice.
A bit too much boost too, I would say.
Yeah, probably. Alright, so 5 laps remaining in this race. Ivan Leonov still solidly in the lead. 15 seconds to Tom Ondermenger, who has been starting to pick up the pace a little bit. Last lap was 4/10 quicker than Leonov. And Gerald de Vries and Jordi Swiers also not as quick as Leonov and Tom Ondermenger at the moment. So Jordi might be able to get past Gerald for the last podium position, but I don't see him closing into Tom Ondermenger that quickly in 5 laps time.
No, unless Tom's tires are starting to go off in the next few laps.
Exactly.
But Tom just did his personal best, so it seems like they're in a good shape.
It's looking good for him.
Also very important for the championship for him. His main rivals are DNF'd and in P14 right now.
Yeah, Cameron Roger will be picking up 2 points total, and Tom Ondermenger will be picking up 20, I think.
Yeah, should be 20.
So that's a good gain compared to your rivals. And Cameron and Luca D'Amelio are gonna have to try to beat him in an upcoming races. Obviously, the championship is shorter than it has been the last few years, so there are only about 4 races remaining after this one, which is Singapore, Japan, the USA, and Brazil. So have to watch out that they don't lose too much points compared to Tom. They want to have a fight for the championship.
And the field is pretty spread out right now. I think the only thing which could happen in the end is Jordi catching up to Gerald de Vries, and we might see a little battle for P3, but otherwise I think everyone is pretty safe in this position.
Yep.
Actually, Tom Lambert just did the fastest lap by 21.4. If he continues this, he will be on a rearing of injury Grommet next lap.
Yeah, that's a good pace from Tom Lambert. As we are on the last lap of this race now. Ivan Leonov coming through Curva Grande for the last time. Jordi Zwiers now almost within a second of Gerlof de Vries. He's gonna do it on the last lap. Would be something if he makes that move in this last lap. Here we go. Perhaps into Variante della Roggia. Around the outside. Squeezing him a little bit there. Not much space left for his teammate. Hard battling between the teammates. But Jordi back out of that battle. And surely he's too far now to make any move. Ivan Leonov now coming through Parabolica for the last time. He will be taking victory here at the Autodromo Nazionale Monza. An absolutely amazing performance by Ivan Leonov, leading the race from start to finish and finishing almost 16 seconds in front of Tom Oldermenger, who will be taking home extremely valuable points for the championship lead here. And Gerlof de Vries finishes in third. Jordi Zwiers not able to get past him. Then Japitas P5, a very long stint on the softs. Kostas Kalamatis with the 2-stop finishes 6th. Indrek Vermeet 7th. And Tom Lambert 8th. Mirko Lupini in 9th place. Todd Soeks in 10th. Michael Wilson will be coming home in P11. And then we wait for Matthew Tucson in P12 and Gerard Batala in P13. Cameron Roger taking home 2 points here at the end. Won't be too happy about that purely, but at least it's not 0 points. You can look at it from the positive side. And we've had 13 DNFs here in this race. So quite a hectic race, especially the start of the race with a few incidents. But that's unfortunately bound to happen here with 30 drivers in the Pro Championship at such a tight track like Monza. Anyway, congratulations once again to all the podium finishers and the top 10 finishers. I want to thank you, Peter, for joining me in the commentary box and obviously doing the race direction here for the Pro Championship.
Yeah, thank you to Felix for commentating and making the stream possible.
Yeah, no problem. And obviously, thanks to the viewers for tuning in. Been a great Great race once again. Make sure to tune in for at least the World Championship race, which will be starting at 1800 GMT. If there is a extra time in the World Championship final, in the World Cup final, I should say, the World Championship race will probably be delayed at least until the end of that extra time. So just so you know that. So we will be a little bit later if there's extra time for the World Championship. The Ace race will be coinciding, unfortunately, with the World Cup. So if you are tired of watching football every day, go watch the Ace Championship. I'm sure the drivers there will be giving you a great show. And otherwise, I hope to see you in the World Championship race. Until then, take care and have a great day.
Hey man, I got that new TMX Thrustmaster wheel. It's going down.
Xbox One?
I can't wait to play when I get home.
Yo, let me play?
Yeah, I play first. Yeah.
You know, I'll race it for it.
Well, I have to hand you.